you should know about me is I'm very right-wing now. That's another thing you should know about me. Yes, I'm very right-wing. I went on the first Laura Koonsberg show, and well, I'll just show you what I said. This is what I said. I know that there's been criticism in the Mail on Sunday today about lefty, liberal, wokey comedians on the BBC. I'm actually very right-wing, and I loved it. Yes, I'm very right-wing. People were saying I was being sarcastic there. That's not me being sarcastic. I am very right-wing. Does this sound like sarcasm to you? Well done, Liz. That is not sarcasm. Liz Truss was in the room. I wanted her to know how I felt about her. This is the weird thing. What a fucking week this has been. Just like to people at home watching, we're filming this just after Liz Truss has resigned, so when you're watching this... No, she's my best friend! When you're watching this, fuck knows who's Prime Minister. It's probably just a moth. It's the Prime Minister moth going round. What are your policies? More lights? Yes, I've been a very big Liz Truss supporter. I love Liz Truss. In fact, I was critical of Rishi Sunak on the show. I wanted him and the country to know what I thought about him. This is what I said. Well, it was nice to hear from Rishi Sunak. He's not going to be Prime Minister, so you may as well have interviewed Peter Andre. Guess who slipped into Mummy's DM straight after that? Peter fucking Andre himself. He said, Samantha Peterson still cracks me up. That's reference to like an old bit of stand-up that I used to do. I replied to this, I said, this whole week has been insania. A message that's very much remained on scene. But I am a very right-wing. I've been right-wing for a while. People don't know this about me. I was right-wing. This started with Nadine Dorries. Now, she was the... No, she's my best friend as well. She was the Minister for Digital Culture and Sport. She said she wanted more right-wing comedy on the BBC. I felt like I was the man for the job. So I was pitching shows to the BBC, right-wing versions of their existing programmes, see if I could get them commissioned. So, for example, I used to host the Great British Sewing Bee. I made a right-wing version of that. It's not called Sewing Bee, it's called Old Women and Puffs. And the idea is everyone on the show's called Gary, and I go round and I say, oh, what are you making, Gary? And Gary goes, swastika blanket! BBC didn't want it, so pitched them a right-wing Gardener's World. Gardener's Britain, only white flowers, very strong borders. They didn't want it. Pitched them a right-wing Top Gear. It's exactly the same programme. I've actually come up with a game show which I think is quite good, but I haven't worked out the numbers yet, it doesn't really matter. Let's say it's a 100-grand jackpot, 10 contestants, 7 days to get a positive COVID test. I think you'd watch it. People scrambling around licking doorknobs in hospitals, you'd watch it. We'd call it Who Do You PCR? Yes. I'm actually very anti-BBC these days as well, actually. I'm suing the BBC after what they did to me at Strictly. Disgusting behaviour. Disgusting. It's a very pleasing thud, that, isn't it? Very right-wing, very right-wing. I've lost fans because I'm so right-wing, because Boris Johnson, who's my ride or die, when he was Prime Minister, for the first time, just in case, they can cut it if it doesn't happen, when he was Prime Minister, I like to be supportive of him, you know, I like to do a supportive tweet to him when he did Prime Minister's Questions, this sort of thing. Don't let them get to you, babe, they're just jealous. That must have been tough, babe, proud of you. Don't rise to it, babe, I'm with Nadine, we're on your side, no matter what. People would reply to these tweets, they'd say things like this. Remind me never to book a ticket to see you. Oh dear, was a fan, bye. Seriously, you're losing fans. Time to confirm if it's a joke. Confirm if it's a joke! Exactly the sort of person you want in a comedy audience. No! I will never confirm if it's a joke. Tell you one person who didn't know if it was a joke. Nadine fucking Dorries. She retweeted it. She was the Minister for Digital. Thick as mince. Very right-wing. I worked in the heart of government for a while, actually. I worked with Sue Gray on the Partygate report. Love Sue Gray. She loves a blue WKD, you just wouldn't think it. And we were working on the report, and I shouldn't have done it, I accept that now, but I just felt like the mood in the country is people wanted to see the Partygate report, and I leaked an early version of it to Twitter. I shouldn't have done it, but I thought it was fine. There's some naughty things in there, you know. A number of WhatsApp groups are established with names such as Definitely a Meeting, Wink, and Down It Street. One minister insisted everyone get on the table and sing Pure and Simple by hearsay. It's absolutely fine, it doesn't matter. I won't tell you the next one, actually. I'll let Jeremy Vine tell you this one.
And then he says, before one of the gatherings, somebody who worked with the Prime Minister insisted everyone be tested, and their nickname became Twatteral Flo.
Got Jeremy Vine to say Twatteral Flo on daytime TV, so that's that ticked off the bucket list. I really like this as well. That's a nice move that he does there, isn't it? You'll notice Twatteral's been blurred there by his producer. You can't say Twatteral on daytime TV. Jeremy doesn't give a shit. After I'd leaked this report, I was looking through my Instagram DMs, and people were messaging me, and one of the messages was this. I work in Parliament for the Conservatives, and I think you need to know, your tweet this morning was read out as an actual serious leak from Sue Gray's report. You had MP staff literally running around panicking, panic dialing MPs. I can't believe she used the phrase, down it street. I get a lot of messages on Instagram. I thought it was probably bollocks. It's just someone taking the piss, isn't it? So I was like, go on then, prove you're in Parliament. They immediately sent me a picture of a bin. I was like, shit. This is real. And I've since had it verified. It is Senior Cabinet Minister, I can't say if it's Theresa May. And it was a Senior Cabinet Minister who thought this leaked report was real. The end of the report had the email account, itsallsuegravybaby@aol.com.